I want to take you back to me 2 years ago. I'm standing in a quiet locker room inside of my gym. It's dark because someone is turning off all the lights and it's close to closing. The only thing that remains is the orange glow of a few bulbs above a long bathroom mirror that spans from one end of the wall to the other. I just got finished weightlifting. I've been working out for a while and want to see more progress. I'm getting stronger, sure, but I don't see a noticeable difference. It's starting to get frustrating. My family swears that they can see a difference and that I've been getting bigger, but I don't notice anything. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to think that they're just lying to me. I'm standing in front of the mirror today because I want to prove to myself that I am wrong and that they are right. I take my shirt off and flex in the mirror. There's nothing. I feel just as skinny as normal. I don't even feel close to the bodybuilders and the fitness influencers that I looked up to. I'm starting to doubt whether it's even possible that I can ever get there. Despite that, I still take a progress picture. I've been taking them every single time that I can remember, which is about once a week. I add the picture to the Progress Pics album, and then I put my shirt back on. I grab my backpack and water bottle and walk out to the car. I get in my car and close the door on the cold parking lot. I feel dejected today, so I kind of just do what we all do, which is sit in the car for a little while in silence. Then I suddenly get the feeling that I should look over my progress pictures, like flip through them from start to finish. It's almost like a little voice in my head told me so. I open the phone and scroll to the very start of the album. It's my first mirror picture just a month or so after starting. There's a kind of goofy smile on my face. Then I start to flip through each photo. It's so surreal watching yourself grow in real time. If you've never done it, I can't explain it to you. But I can tell you that all of your doubts and all of your worries and your insecurities about whether it's going to pay off completely disappear. It's almost like you ever seen those like time lapses of a plant growing out of the soil, right? A seed is planted and it sprouts up and it grows out of the soil like really fast. It's almost like that. All of my limiting beliefs instantly vanish. I could see certain muscles growing faster than others depending on what routine I was doing. I could see times where I realized I was lacking in certain areas and then course corrected with different exercises or routines. I would linger on certain photos when I could remember like vivid details about that point in my life. I could see my entire frame shift and grow into a wider, stronger build. I could see every single workout paying off. I could see that all of it was worth it. This experience is why I think it's so important for people to take progress pictures. You know, I don't really think that a lot of people quit the gym because it's hard. Think about that. I don't think they quit the gym because it's hard. I think that they quit the gym because they don't see the progress that they want to, and then they start wondering if it's going to pay off. They would be perfectly happy to commit to each and every workout if they could see for certain what they would get at the end of a year of going every single day. If they saw for certain where they were going to end up a year from then they would be happy to show up every single day. To them, it would be worth it. But it's impossible to show people that. It's impossible to show anyone that. And so, naturally, they doubt. Impatience also plays a huge role here. When they feel that they're not getting the results that they want, or it's going to take too long, they start wondering if they're going to get results at all or if it's worth it. And then, of course, they start wondering if it's going to pay off, and then they're more motivated to quit and less motivated to show up every single day. I don't want that for you. So today I want to cover the real timeline of results and progress that you'll get from weightlifting consistently in the gym, according to what I have experienced and what a lot of other gym goers have experienced. My goal with this is to set your expectations correctly and encourage you that delayed results are normal and that you will see progress. There are 4 main points on the timeline for a beginner. If you're just getting started, then these are here to look forward to. And if you're already kind of experienced in the gym, you've been in the gym for a little while, then maybe listen to these and see if they kind of line up with your own personal experience. So week number 1 through 4 is newbie gains, or neuromuscular adaptation. This is the point where you first start making those immediate gains, and it's actually not really muscle growth as much as it is your nervous system is getting more efficient at employing different muscles, right? So you may feel like you're getting a lot stronger, a lot faster. Your nervous system goes from not being able to really know how to use the muscles, right? This is called the mind-muscle connection, to first learning how to really use the muscles on demand. You might feel your muscles becoming further and lifts getting easier, but you'll notice that there aren't really any visible changes for the first 4 weeks. In weeks 5 to 12, you'll start to notice some noticeable muscle gains. Your body starts to show visible changes, muscle fibers start to grow, and hypertrophy starts to take place. You'll notice some improved muscle tone and some reduction in body fat. This is where you actually start to build muscles. Your muscles are like ready to now grow as the micro tears that happen when you push yourself start to repair and the muscle starts to build. Studies show that beginners can gain 9 to 15 pounds of muscle in the first 8 to 12 weeks, especially if they start skinny, which is incredible. 12 pounds of muscle in these first weeks is insane. Strength will continue to improve, though not quite as fast as the first jump in the first month, right? Because if you think about it, going from essentially your muscles not really knowing how to employ themselves to suddenly they know how to work is going to be a much bigger gain than your first few gains through actual hypertrophy. But the amount of strength increase that comes from this next period is still massive. So there's that to look forward to. But again, not really a whole lot of visible changes. You might notice they start to bulge a little bit, but it's not going to be that visible. Month 3 to 6 is where a solid foundation starts to take place and a plateau normally happens. Muscle size and strength start to become more obvious. You get a better frame. You start to get bigger and stronger than everyone else that doesn't work out, which is something cool to look forward to. This is where your overall physique starts to change and catch up to the actual strength change. Progress slows now that you built a solid foundation of muscle and strength, and the easy gains taper off here, unfortunately. This is why it's so common for people to plateau here and for their gains to sort of fall off, is because now that they built the foundation of what is like genetically easy for them, then the real show starts. Then the real game starts. Consistency and progressive overload become like extremely crucial in this stage if you want to move past this stage and continue to gain more muscle. So really focus on that. Don't become inconsistent. Don't stop progressive overloading. Push weight even if you feel like you're not strong enough to. You have to progressively overload to break that plateau. In month 6 to 12 is when significant changes to your body happen. You start getting an athletic and the aesthetic physique. Obviously, this is dependent on where you start at, but this is realistic to achieve within 12 months, within 6 to 12 months. For those who started skinny or underweight, it's possible to gain 20 plus pounds of muscle in the first year with optimal training and nutrition. By that point, it starts to taper off a little bit. It's common knowledge that within your first year of lifting, you're going to gain like a lot of weight, but then after that, it gets a lot harder. At this stage, gains are slower and require more effort, but the transformation compared to the previous stages is way more substantial than anything that they could offer, right? It's extremely hard, but now that you've built like that strong foundation and your muscles are really starting to grow, this is where it counts. This is where all of that transformation actually happens if you keep progressively overloading and showing up daily. This last stage probably accounts for like 70% of the progress on your physique, maybe like 80. It's one of those things in life, if you know about the Pareto principle, which is 20% of things contribute to 80% of the results, it's one of those 20% things in life in getting an aesthetic body, and it contributes to 80% of the results. Honestly though, you won't see a huge difference. I know this sounds crazy, but you won't see a huge difference unless you take progress pictures, like preferably every workout, at least every week. You want to be taking progress pictures through the whole process, because you'll feel bigger or smaller depending on the day. And when you are comparing yourself to your last image of yourself, which is going to be yesterday, you're not going to see any difference. And so it'll surprise you when you actually learn about how big you've gotten. And so definitely take progress pictures. Some other factors that will influence this timeline are genetics, nutrition, consistency, and body composition, which is basically how much of your body is body fat that you need to focus on losing. Where did you start at? Are you skinny and already kind of like toned where you can see all your muscles and bones, or are you overweight? Obviously that's going to play a role. But this is generally the outline of when to expect results. And listening to that, you might think, well, 12 months is a year. That's a long time to wait for an aesthetic body. And the answer is yeah. That's why most people quit, because it's hard. It's not fast or easy. If you are willing to commit to 12 months of work, you honestly don't deserve an aesthetic body at all. You should be committing to a lifetime of working out extremely hard. It's absolutely worth it, and anything less than that is a compromise to yourself. This is why so many people quit, and they get frustrated and they fall off and they whine about how they can't see results. This is why the fitness industry is so big with selling these 12-week courses, is because no one can commit to 12 months of showing up in the gym. Anyone that tells you otherwise, by the way, is lying to you, and they don't want what's best for you. It is not easy to get an aesthetic body. It's not easy to get a six-pack. It's not easy to get anything, but nothing that comes easy is worth having. The fact that it is hard to achieve is why it's important in the first place. And so I just wanted to set your expectations for this so that when you're a month in or you're 3 months in and you don't see the aesthetic body, you're not going to give up. This is normal. This is normal. Every actual bodybuilder that I've ever spoken to has gone through this timeline. They've not gone through the 12-week bullshit. They haven't gone through any of that. They've gone through this, which is a real timeline of what's going to happen if you consistently show up and push yourself. So the next time you feel discouraged and you wonder if it's all going to be worth it, just know that it is. Be patient with yourself and just focus on pushing yourself every time you go into the gym. Just focus on progressively overloading, focus on being consistent, staying consistent, getting in there, and just let the universe pay you off for your hard work, which it will, but you have to be patient, all right? You have to go the extra mile. It's faith-based work, right? You put it in because you have faith that it's going to pay off, and that's okay. You don't have to be certain. You don't have to be shown for sure that you're going to get results from this. I promise you that you will, but even when you're feeling discouraged and you feel like you're not making progress, just keep going, all right? It's going to take a little while. Be patient with yourself. So anyways, I hope you got value from this video. If you did, then there's something that you can do, which is a win-win for both of us, which is to scroll down and press the subscribe button and just subscribe to this channel. I win because I get a new subscriber, and you win because every time I get a new insight or I try something out or I learn something new, then I can make a video on it and provide you directly with value and education, and you can get closer to building your dream aesthetic body. So thank you for watching. Go do that right now. Subscribe to my channel, and bye-bye. Have a good day.